Incredible story about manifestation. A dream that is going to make you believe in your own power. On average, a Tanzanian girl loses 41 days in a year because she stays at home during her menstruation. Watch how one woman started a movement that is changing the lives of thousands of girls in Tanzania. You will never give up on a dream after seeing this woman. I would love to introduce you all to Hyasintha Ntuyeko. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
I've done a little bit of research on your work, and I have to say that, one of the most inspiring things about you is your ability to think outside the box and, to persevere despite the challenges that you faced. So that was inspiring to me. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. You studied engineering, right? Telecommunication engineering.
Yeah.
So how did you take a leap from that to your business venture?
Actually, my journey was not easy. It was full of stress and disappointment. But I said I need to do something for my community. Actually, I just wanted to solve my challenges. And then when I was in menstruation during the schools, I used to suffer a lot. So I said I need to be part of the solution.
Right.
And when we were in school, there are two engineering ethics. One was engineer as a problem solver,
right,
and another one engineer as a savior. Okay. So I said I need to implement these ethics in my career, okay, and that's why I jumped into entrepreneurship, to be a solver and be a savior.
Right.
And a business was the perfect path for me to solve and to implement these engineering ethics. So I'm not out of my career, I'm within my career,
yes,
don't worry.
Yes, no, that's so interesting that you said that, because I think that when I was reading about you, I was like, okay, so she studied engineering and then she went into business, but the way you are explaining it is that you used what you have studied and you implemented it to think outside the box and do something to help your community.
Yeah.
And I have to really applaud you for that. That's amazing stuff.
Thank you.
You get a lot of support from your family. You faced a lot of challenges. So how did you deal with all that?
First of all, I decided to surround myself with positive thinkers.
Okay.
Because it's very, very hard to reach your dream or to live your dream when you're surrounded with people who never support what you're doing.
Right.
So what I did is just to distance myself with those who are just all the time disappointing me, can't even see the vision that I have.
Right.
So I decided to join force with those who always was by my side, giving me comfort, and all of the time give me feedback which will actually build me to go to another level. But another thing was I decided to develop a habit of reading some inspirational books, so that I can really understand, okay, there are a number of challenges, and actually if I can keep on pushing harder, I can solve them, and I can be like any other people who are so successful. Because whoever is successful, when you go back and read their stories, you just find they've been going through a lot of things, but they keep on pushing hard to the extent that they are who they are today, and we're proud of them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did Glory Girl Pad start? It's a very interesting story, and I don't want to tell it because it's your story. I'd really love you to, tell our viewers, how did this whole process start?
I went to engineering school,
okay,
and in my class we were only 4 girls in a class out of 40 students.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we used to sit in the front, so all the lecturers knows us by face and by names, and everyone, those schoolmates knows us, because we're just only 4, and their courses just even not find even a single lady there.
Right.
And I used to struggle a lot when I'm in period. Like the major thing was menstrual cramps. I used to get this severe menstrual cramps, and sometimes I can't even go to class. And when you miss practicals, it's very, very difficult for you to come and do it alone. And when you miss class, everyone knows that Hyasintha is not in class, because you're just only 4. So even the lecturer, when you come in, like, where is she? Because they know this is your seat and you're not there. Right. So after my university, I said, okay, I really need to solve this challenge. Because sometimes when I find myself like, okay, I'm not getting that severe menstrual cramps, I can go to class, but I just find another challenge, like you wear a sanitary napkin and it bursts. You wear sanitary napkins and you start smelling. Right. And sometimes it's very, very itchy. You can't even be comfortable and you can't even concentrate with what you're doing. So after my university, I said, okay, I need to be part of this solution to solve this problem. And then when I jumped into it, I came to realize, it was not only my challenge. It has been facing a number of women who were not even comfortable to speak about this in public. And based on our cultural limitations, we have been taught that it's something for us. We don't even let anyone to know about. Even if you're in periods, it has to be you, personal, who knows about it and not let any other people talk about it. So I said, okay, then let me start a discussion with these women. When you go to my website, you can see how I started. I started to talk with a number of women. And I came to realize, even these women, they have a number of challenges, but they really don't know how to solve it. Right. And I was thinking like, okay, if a mother does not know, what about a daughter? Then to be worse. Then I said no. Actually, that was something which inspired me a lot to keep pushing harder into this channel, despite the fact that people think like, why are you trying to humiliate people? This is a shame, this is something which should be secret. But I said no, no, no. And I came to realize, okay, I developed glory pads, and I called them glory because they are bamboo made, and they revive the happiness of a woman. I know most of women, I can say all women, they don't like to be in periods. If you know you are going to start your period next week and you have a number of activities, serious activities that you need to do, you feel so sad about it. So I called them glory because it just gives back the humanity, the dignity that a lady and a girl is missing. So I realized, okay, now I have glory pads, but what else? Women are facing a number of challenges, so glory pads cannot only be the solution. Then I said, we also need to talk about other challenges that women are facing during menstruation and they're not comfortable to address in public, so that we can have a good pack of solution of the challenges.
And an open discussion, right? Yeah, yeah. A lot of challenges with your business. I think especially when you're starting something, you know, that's so unconventional. You know, you're starting something of your own. It's not easy. Advice do you have for women who want to start their own business?
First of all, I can say passion is something very important. Yeah. For me, it has been a fuel for my journey. Right. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not only entrepreneurship. Everything is not easy. Yeah. You need to have a drive, the inner drive that will push you doing the difficult things that people think that they can never be done. So for girls, what I can say, the first thing is passion. And the second thing is, you know, the capacity to dream big is not confined by country, gender, age, or color. Okay. But what we need to do is, we are supposed not to embrace excuses. Right. This is something which actually pulls us back, because we always excuse ourselves. Yeah. For even something small, you can commit your time and energy and you can reach where you want to be, but you try to excuse every time. Yeah. So please, please, please never be the queen of excuses, and always be the person who always takes initiative. Let it be your own boss. Initiate something and do something and let people see that you are doing something, and others can be inspired by what you're doing, so that we can have a bigger group that we can move together as a team and solve a number of problems that we're facing.
I think you're so right, because there's so many times that, you know, even when I'm speaking to my friends, you know, they'll talk about all the problems that, you know, they're facing, and these problems are solvable and they can take a small step to solve them. So you're so right in that you should not sit and complain, rather do something about it. Take one step forward, you know, and don't lose hope. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
You studied engineering, but you went back to school. So how did that go? Can you expand on that?
You know, as business grow, also challenges are growing.
Right.
So if challenges are growing, also you need to grow your personal skills and other kinds of, I can say, yeah, the skills in general. So for me, when I started, yeah, there are a number of challenges that are within my control. But when the business started growing, when I started employing people, when I started wondering, like, okay, now we need to expand the channel for selling the Glory napkins, I realized in order for me to handle a number of things, I really need to go back to school. So I decided to go back to entrepreneurship class, and I was lucky that I was sponsored again to go and do the entrepreneurship class with the Femtech. These are the people who are empowering women who are in entrepreneurship. It was free of charge, no cost. But my intention to go to that, it was just, I just wanted to know about marketing skills that I think I missed. And another thing, it was, I just wanted to have a basic knowledge, because, you know, I just jumped into entrepreneurship out of curiosity because it was a drive. But when I was in, I thought, I need to do something to upgrade my business education. So when I went to that school, I came to realize, actually marketing and planning was not actually the main thing that I wanted for my business to go to the next level. I just found things like pitching, like how do you express yourself? And this is very, very important. You know, we don't know how to market ourselves. Like when you meet, like today you meet maybe Mohammed Enterprises, right? In 1 minute, how are you going to market and make him feel like, oh, there was certain lady that I need to set an appointment with? That's the thing that we entrepreneurs, we are lacking. So when I went there, I came to realize, like, oh, that's the thing that I really missed and I did not even know. And things like cash flows, things like identify your customer. I remember in the beginning, my idea was like, everyone is my customer, you see? But when I went to that school, it was just like trying to break,
find your target audience.
Yeah, to stream down and move with a niche. We call it a niche, because everyone cannot be your target. So identify your customer, do your cash flows, being able to pitch, because you cannot meet someone who has limited time and start telling the whole story in 1 hour. They don't even have time. Yeah. So for me, going to that school, I can say it has helped me a lot, because after that school, it made me know that, okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to drop them, and I'm going to focus with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are the things I'm supposed to do for me to be able to move to the next level. And even being able to plan, like, okay, this year I'm this level, and what next in next year? Where do I want to be? And also to work together as a team. So to me, I found like I went to that school because I just wanted to know the marketing skills and the management part of it. But out of that school, I just came to realize there was a lot that I did not know. And if I could not even get them, it would have taken me years to solve simple goals because of lack of that knowledge.
I think the best thing you've said, the two best things you have sort of explained is, one, never stop learning. You know, whatever skills that you had and you needed more skills, you went back and you tried to upgrade yourself, to sort of learn those skills. And number two, you have to keep persevering and have a vision. You cannot just make a plan for tomorrow. You have to make a plan for 5 years. You have to make a plan for 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's what a good entrepreneur should do. So that's fantastic. And one thing I read about that I found so interesting is that you didn't have a lot of cash at that time. So what you would do is you would sort of train a lot of salespeople, and they would work for you, and you would train them for free, right?
Yeah.
Can you expand on that?
In order to achieve in anything, you need a team. You can't do it alone. So for me, I realized, like, okay, I have a business, yes, but if I get sick today, my business will also get sick. So what will I do? Let me use the talent that I have to empower others so that they can be also able to help my goal, but they can also help themselves. And that's how we started. I train them and I let them wear my shoes so that when they go out, they reflect me. Because It's very, very bad when you try to do everything by yourself, because you never go far.
And you get overwhelmed.
Yeah, if you never go far, you get tired, and you feel like the world is too heavy for you to carry. So for me, it was good, because up to now you can see these girls, others that keep doing, others they have other things they're doing, but they always, whenever they see my brand in the supermarkets, they always refer it because of the value that I've given to them, and the connection that we have, work together as teammates. There is no boss, there is no this, we are teammates trying to achieve a certain goal together as a team. So if that goal fail, I'm not the one who failed, but we all fail. Right. We sit down and brainstorm together and plan for new thing to do again.
Okay. Along with your very successful business, you are also on a campaign to raise awareness about menstrual hygiene to a lot of the villages and a lot of the youth and people. What was the inspiration? You know, your business is going well. Why did you decide, you know, I need to take time out of my business and do this?
Yeah, as I told you, when I was in school, I used to suffer a lot about during my periods. And after that, when I jumped into entrepreneurship, I realized, okay, it has never been my only challenge. Other women, other girls are also facing the same challenge. And the issue is, these women and girls, they're not even comfortable to speak it out. Yeah. And you know, the menstrual hygiene, it's not an issue between men and women, but it's also an issue between women and women. Even we women, we are not even comfortable talking about these issues between ourselves. So I said, okay, let me create the platform. Let me be the one who can address this in public without even fearing it, and telling the people that this is something very important. Because if you're comfortable talking about condoms in media, talking about family planning in media, what about menstrual hygiene? This is something very important. We are talking about production of human being. There is no life without menstruation. So our girls, our mothers are going through a lot, and they're trying to keep it for themselves. But at the end of the day, look this time now. Infertility is so high. Cervical cancer is coming, you see. But why do we feel proud to invest a lot of money to do this
treatment when you don't even want to discuss
this? Well, when you go to the ground level, just find there are girls and women who are using sand, they're using chicken feathers, they're using ugali just to accommodate themselves. This is actually not fair at all. And that's why I said no. I went through a number of villages and through different places. Right. And when I see this thing, I say like, no. Today you are 15 years age and you are doing this. When you're in 40 or 30 at the production age, you can't bear a kid because you have already destroyed your system. Right. And then I said, no. Yes, I have glory parts as a solution, but I will also address the menstrual hygiene to make sure that we have this bigger pack, because it's not women issue, it's a community issue. When you talk about menstrual hygiene, it's a combination of things, infrastructures, when you talk about water, place for disposal, and also the materials themselves. So I said no. I suffered, but I realized my challenge was just like menstrual cramps and poor quality of the sanitary napkins. But when I went to the field,
I realized
it's a bigger issue, and people have a number of challenges that actually women themselves or girls themselves cannot solve. We need the bigger part, the community as well as the government.
I address this whole idea of giving back a lot in my interviews. I think that a lot of business people, you know, they sort of, if they have a good business going on, why would they want to waste their time to sort of go and give back and do something for the community? So I have to say that I believe that there's a lot of inner peace and sort of a sort of, yeah, like a inner peace you get, you know, if you're helping other people. And that whatever time you have outside your work, it's so important, whatever passion you have, to sort of solve the issues we have in our community. So it's fantastic that you are taking time out and you're actually going head to head with these issues. And a lot of these challenges are not easy because you have so much sort of clash back from people. Like you said, menstrual hygiene, what women go through is not something people like to discuss. So how did you overcome that challenge?
Okay, first of all, what I did is we are working together with the Tanzania Medical Student Association. These are our doctors to be. And it came to my mind like, okay, this is the thing that many people are so quiet about it. And even when you go to the hospitals trying to find a solution for the challenge that women are facing, especially when it comes to the medical, and you are getting some problems with menstruation, even doctors, that they don't have actually straight answers for this. You just find like some of the advices that I just found women have been receiving from doctors, like you have to give birth. Imagine you are 15 years of age and you are suffering from this and you're getting an advice like you have to give birth. So you still have like 15 more years to go for your career in order to for you to be, okay, now I'm ready to give birth. Then I said, okay, why don't we partner with medical students, and I will let them pass and go through all areas that I'm going and see the actual situation, so that when they become doctors, they'll have this, what can I say? They'll have this, they'll feel comfortable to solve the women challenges, because they've been in the ground and they've seen what is actually happening. Yeah. So what we did is we developed it's not a curriculum, I can say teaching content, and we established clubs in schools. And in these clubs, we train both boys and girls on menstrual hygiene and puberty as well, so that we can create balancing. You know, the habit of just calling girls like, girls, we need you in this class at this time. You make boys very curious, like what is going on, when it is going on. And actually, we are not solving the problem, that adding the problem. Because when the girls are coming out from that maybe seminar, boys are just trying to, what was going on? You see? Yeah. So they have become that much curious. Then I said, okay, let us train both boys and girls. We talk about menstrual hygiene and we talk about the puberty, so that they can understand the body changes and all other kind of things. So that was number one. So the medical students, they use the extra time, they go train the students in schools and they put them in clubs. And we came to realize they love it. They really love it. Boys have so many questions, girls have so many questions. They come in front and share stories and be trainers, because our intention is to make them also be trainers. They can train also their fellow students within school compound. So whatever the problem that is arising, then people will be there. The students one-to-one, they will educate one another. But another thing to solve these kind of challenges is to bring this issue back to the community. And that's why we decided to celebrate the International Menstrual Hygiene Day, to make the community understand, to make a father understand. You know, in our culture.
And you started this in 2015, right?
Yeah, 2014.
2014.
Yeah, that was the first celebration, and this will be the second one. So we make the father understand that, oh, okay, my daughter is my good friend, and I need to support her in all ways. So the sanitary napkins, father can buy for a daughter, because otherwise the daughter will not feel comfortable coming and asking a father like, you know, I need money for sanitary napkins, I need this, I need that. But you as a father, you need to put in your mind like, okay, I have a daughter, I can provide some cash every month so that she can go and buy sanitary napkins. But for now, men and boys, they think that that is women issue, her mother will sort her out. Yeah. But when just when the mother is not having even money and she doesn't even care that much, like, is it a must or what?
Maybe so, not only so much care, I think that maybe because the mother sort of has lived that life and has taken care of it, like you've said, you know, using unsanitary materials, that sort of tradition moves on, and they say, I did it, so my daughter would figure it out. But I think it's a lack of knowledge, you know, and that's what you're trying to bring to the table and sort of educate girls that, no, this is not sanitary, it's not hygienic for you to be using these things.
Yeah, so this is how we solve it, and we believe together we can, because I don't want to address it as women and girls, no, I address it to the community, so that the government will take a role and the community member will take a role, but also women and girls will take a role.
Yeah. You said something very interesting that I want to just from earlier, when we were speaking, the importance of women uplifting women. I just want to touch on that. You said that as women, we have to always inspire each other. We have to start a trend so that other women can watch and get inspired. You know, I think that's just it's so interesting because myself, I love going on YouTube. I love watching, you know, inspirational women. I love watching Oprah. I love watching Sheryl Sandberg and the sort of work she's doing to inspire other women. And that's how I got my passion. So as women, we need to find idols within our community, like you said, that we look up to, and sort of, you know, gain inspiration from them and do something of our own.
Yeah, we called it Pamoja Tanzania, those trainings in schools.
Okay.
And the intention of calling it Pamoja Tanzania is because I believe we all have role to play. Yeah. And we go to schools and we talk about menstrual hygiene, we talk about puberty, so that they both understand the body changes and why they are happening and what they need to do. But also, they also need to understand the menstrual hygiene part of it. Right. But also, the medical students have something to learn out from students. So when
everybody's benefiting.
Yeah, everybody's get benefited. So when you go and try to play your role in your career, then you'll play it well. So this is actually what we do, and it's just a prototype for now. We are running in 4 schools, but later we are going to expand. I believe in starting small, you test it, you prove it, and then you keep.
You go, instead of going and
instead of going like you started like this, and then at the end of the day you just find like it's getting scattered.
Yeah, that's fantastic. There are some setbacks you're facing that I read about with trying to raise awareness about this issue that still a lot of people don't like to discuss. You know, how are you planning to break this barrier? How are you, you know, you are a long-term thinker. What is your plan to break this barrier? What is your plan to get the government on board to help you even more?
Yeah, actually, I would like to be very clear. When talking about menstrual hygiene management, we are not trying to humiliate anyone, but we are trying to uplift and solve the challenges that our women are facing, because we are more than 50% of the population. Imagine today, this more than 50% of population, they fail to perform. It actually affects the economy of the country. So what we are trying to do is, we're trying to see how can we help women. You know, we think like menstruation is something minor. It's not in our priority to discuss, but the effect is big. I know you can say something like when women they're in menstruation and the environment is not supportive, they tend to go back home. But when they come to you, they'll never tell you like, you know, boss, I'm going back home because there is no doors in the toilet, there is no water in toilet, there is no dustbin toilets, the toilet has been blocked. She'll come and tell you, know, I have family problem, my baby is sick. But the actual problem is she's in menstruation, she's in periods, and she can't even access the toilets and all the facilities that are not available within the working area within the school. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to empower women. We're not trying to humiliate. We're trying to make the policymaker understand that menstruation is an issue. And if we keep on putting it at the back of our mind, they have to expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other side effects. So what we are doing is, we are celebrating the Menstrual Hygiene Day. What we do is, we are trying to let the community understand why we talk about menstrual hygiene management and what will be the effects when they tend to keep it as a secret, and what will be the benefits if they keep on trying to see what they can do to empower women and girls. And the government also, they have roles to ensure that the sanitary napkins that are coming in the country, they're of good quality. Having sanitary napkins, which always when you put it on, it's each and each and each, at the end of the time you ended up going to the hospital. We don't really like to see this.
Affordability is a big issue.
And the second thing also is affordability of these sanitary napkins. So issue like VAT have to be think twice. Like being in periods is not an option.
No.
So if you are charging me VAT for my sanitary napkins, seriously, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because there are people who can afford buying these materials, they can buy. But there are those who can't really afford buying these materials. They ended up using unhygienic materials.
Yeah.
And you know, these people who are using unhygienic materials, they're the people who cannot even afford to go to the hospitals. So if we are now trying to charge VAT to these sanitary materials, actually these sanitary materials will shoot. And if we have 20,000 women who are using sanitary materials, and when the price goes higher, then we're expecting the number of people who are using sanitary materials to drop. Imagine you're a mother, you're having 6 daughters in your house, and you have to buy these sanitary to each and everyone. And the father think like, that is for mother, so mother will sort them out. And I can't really afford to buy those sanitary materials for all 6 girls in my house. Then at the end of the day, what am I going to do? Just letting them doing what they can do by themselves. So this is what we are trying to address, despite of the challenges that we are facing. But I really need to tell Tanzanians that who are watching us, who are listening to us, that we are not trying to humiliate a woman. And we are not trying to copy Western cultures, as many used to refer us, like, why are you putting these things in public? You are trying to copy Western cultures. Western people, they are not facing the problem that we are facing. They have money, they can buy their sanitary materials, they have
also,
water,
a lot of places they provide free, like, you know, when you go to a lot of the bathrooms in the West, they provide free sanitary napkins and things like that.
Yes, yes. When you go to the bathroom, then you just see the sanitary napkins. If you are in need, you can take and use it. Yeah. But it's a movement for all of us and not for women and girls.
Okay. You know, as a female leader, you have done so much for yourself, for your business, and as well as for the community. What do you think is one barrier to female leadership?
First of all is, most of us women, as I said, we like to postpone things a lot.
Yeah.
And we don't really like to plan. You know, in order for you to be successful in everything, discipline is very, very important. It doesn't all mean that greeting people every day in the morning, that it means you have discipline, but discipline when you plan for your things. When you wake up in the morning, you also need to know what are you going to do from morning to the evening. And then you have to set time to evaluate if you have achieved or not. But most of us, it's like your friend can just call you and just say, hey Hyasintha, there is a birthday somewhere, can you come? Without even planning, you did not have that plan, you just jump into it, you see?
Yeah, yeah.
And you forgot that you are a business owner, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to do. So discipline is very, very important. And sometimes, okay, now you have your money. How do you use it? Sometimes just something is passing to you like, oh, this is so cool. How much is it? You just buy it. Was it in your plan? So at the end of the day, you just find yourself like, every day women are complaining, we don't have capital, we don't have capital. But when you go to their bedroom, just find number of shoes, number of handbags, and all this is just bought out of plan. So discipline is something I can say is a big barrier for.
You had to do so much saving. I remember when I was reading your articles, you said that you used to go beyond and above to save your money to invest in your business.
Yeah, yeah. So all these come to this category of discipline and the habit of not postponing things. If you plan and you decide that I need to do something, make sure you do it, despite the challenges that are coming. Unless you did not get enough time to plan it well. But when you sit down and do the situation analysis and you came to the conclusion that, okay, this is what I want to do, make sure you have a very good plan. You plan your time, you plan how you're going to raise the funds. And I don't really, you know, if we all the time we depend on the money to be given to us, things will never work. No. Always try to see how are you going to start with the money you have, and then you can attract others to add, rather than going empty-handed and ask 100% support for something that you want to do.
It's interesting because a lot of my friends and a lot of the girls I speak to, they always ask me, how do you do all these, so many things in a day? You know, you work, you have your show, you go to the gym, you play golf, you know. They're like, and then you're married, so you spend time with your husband, you have a group of friends. You're right, it all comes down to discipline, it all comes down to planning. And I believe that a woman can do all these things in a day and still be happy and still have a very balanced life. They always say, you know, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. It's true. If you're sitting around and you're like, oh, I'm bored, now what do I do? Your whole day will go by, you will not achieve anything. So wake up in the morning and, you know, have a plan for your day. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
And so, you know, personally, as a woman, you know, what are some challenges you faced working here?
Challenges are a lot, especially for me, when I look like I'm tiny, and when you go somewhere and you just want things to be done, people are starting to judge the way you look like. They don't really want to sit down and hear what you're telling them. The moment you appear, they feel like they really don't believe on things that can be done with women.
Right.
Yeah, but that has never been a disappointment to me. I always keep pushing and just let a person see that I can do. When you think that I can't do, I can do, and I can even go beyond your expectations. So that is a big challenge. When you go somewhere and people, they think like they don't have enough belief in youth, and they think, you know, we can't give this big role to this person. We expect to see someone is big like this and at least of a certain age. Yeah. So it's a big challenge, but I can say that if you keep pushing, you can open even that door. So it does not mean that you have to step back, but keep insisting and let them gain courage and be able to work with you.
I think that's such a fantastic way to end. And today, don't let the challenges get to you. You have to persevere, and you have to know and believe in yourself. So important. You know, I wanted to end by saying that it's not just nice to empower women. It's a smart choice, like you said, because when you empower women, you're empowering 50% of the population. And that 50% can give to the economy. That 50% are raising their kids. And so it's not only the sort of effect that you can see today, it's an effect that will keep rippling to the next generation and the next generation. So thank you so much. You've done such fantastic work, and you know, I wish you all the best with everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.